Okay, week 4, foreign market entry and logistics. Well, how do you get into a foreign market? Um, One of the ways is if you have a what we'll call logistics advantage. So I'll tell you a great story. It just dawned on me. This is a great story. Okay, so it isn't a foreign market, but it gives you a good analogy. So Chu next week is going on vacation. She's leaving me for 9 days. I'm not the least bit happy about this. However, she's going to Hawaii. And years ago in Hawaii, I was over there on a project. And the papayas that you get in the grocery store here today, they want them to look nice because when people go to Hawaii, they see these nice papayas in the hotel. It might be the first time they've ever had one. They come home, they want to buy these papayas. Well, the best papayas end up in the hotels in Hawaii. In order to ship the papayas from there to here, they used to fly them, air freight, out of Hilo, the big island of Hawaii, and that would go to Honolulu in these LD3, small LD3 containers. They would sit on the tarmac, right, in heat, go in the belly of an airplane, in heat, fly here, which is colder when it's up in the air, land on the ground at whatever temperature it was here, right, and if it went inland, it then went into Chicago, whatever, so this temperature is going like this. Well, papaya shelf life is dependent on it sitting in a continuous temperature range, 38 to 42, something like that. I can't remember the exact number. But it was a pretty narrow range. But if you could keep it in that range, you could extend the shelf life by a couple of weeks. Well, that made that a much more valuable product. Well, I figured out how to do that by, instead of flying it, we put it on a ship. We loaded them right in reefers with Matson. Out of Hilo, came right to the West Coast. We took the reefer to the airport. We had the belly of our air freighter cooled, put them in there, flew them to Chicago, trucked them in a reefer to Cincinnati, and dominated the papaya business. So now if you take that process and you then look at an international market, even though Hawaii's an overseas market, you can create a market that wasn't there before by having a superior logistics operation. Okay, scroll up. How's that one? That's a good example for that. Okay, technology and process change. That's an easy one. I talked about this in our reviews, right? Look at what we're doing in our class. We've put our class mobile ready so that you can look at your class on your phone. You can do the whole class just from your phone. We do these videos. We're constantly in touch with whatever technology way. We found out by interviewing most of our students, they like email better than they like any other mechanism, so we don't use Facebook, whatever, right? And so we're constantly checking with our students on a regular basis, as you should with your other customers. How do they want to communicate? Okay? And then you apply the technology. All right, next, let's scroll up there. What do we got? Oh, look at that one. So you have this, you'll see this chart there that has a little yellow thing right in the center. That's our market process chart. And it tells you how you go by numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It tells you where you start at. And you start at by understanding the subsets of the people you're trying to address. As I talked earlier in the reviews, right? IBUS 1, summer, online, is a separate set of people. It's a 5-week class, not a 16-week class. So there's a reason people pick the 5-week class versus 16 weeks. There's a reason they did it in the summer. There's a reason they didn't do it face-to-face. That's different than somebody taking this very same class face-to-face in the fall in a classroom, right? And so because of that, we then determine which of our resources we're going to apply and how we're going to apply them to create utility for the students of this class. Typically what happens is classes get broadcast no matter what the marketplace wants, right? Here's a PowerPoint, here's a textbook, right? Read it, blah, 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 blah. That's not what we do. We're constantly adapting this to create utility for that subset. Now, for our face-to-face classes, we make some adaptations to that. Okay, go up next. International marketing. Well, the key thing there is a great project we're working on. So, we're taking our course content here and we're offering it to universities overseas. Because with this immigration issue that we're dealing with, it's very difficult for people to come here to learn about how to do business here. But everybody wants to do business in the United States. So we're taking our course content, like this course, And we've had our interns research universities in other countries that teach courses like this, and we're going to be offering these courses to that university and their students. That's an example of international marketing. Okay, scroll up. You see a chart there. I see a chart on buying cycles, right? Let's talk about that a second. So there's a great chart here on buying cycles. So the first basic thing you need to understand is it takes a minimum of 8 contacts with a new customer to get them close to a decision on deciding to buy something. So simply sending out an email saying, hey, buy my product, it's not going to do it. What you want to do is you want to develop a relationship with them, and you want them to have an understanding of what utility you can create for them when they have a need for it. Not when you have the need to sell it, but when they have the need for it. And so the process we're going through now is we've identified some markets that we think could benefit from our content, and we're simply introducing it to them and saying it's available, not buy it. It's available. And here's some stuff, you can look at it, try it out, see what you think. Most software today you get to use for a week, 30 days, right? Test it, see how you like it. It's a better way of selling things, right? And I think that's the key thing. And you want to broadcast it as wide as you can, with the hope that even though you're not going to sell everybody, they know you there. And some of the days somebody's going to come in and say, hey, we need to do X, Y, Z. Wait a minute, I know. It's a guy, right? I'll tell you a great story. So whenever I'm sales organizations, in the old days we used to dictate stuff. Letters, you dictate it, and then the secretary would type it up and whatever, right? So dictaphones, these little devices you used to talk into. Well, the most expensive dictaphone was Lanier. Now, I didn't use a dictaphone, but other people did. And so this sales guy calls, he finds out that I'm the new head guy, so he's calling me every week, religiously. Can I come in to see you? By dictaphones, and I go, hey, I'm not interested. I told my Marcy, my secretary, just take care of it, right? So he would religiously call Marcy every Tuesday, right? And apparently he took her out to lunch, right? Maintained this relationship. I had a sales meeting one day, a year later. Somebody says, hey, can we have dictaphones? And my response was, of course you can. And I got just the guy. Even though he was more expensive, he stayed in touch with us. He knew what they needed, right? He earned that business, and that's really what you want you to do. You want to be tactfully persistent. Okay, scroll up one more. Oh, geez, another great chart. Sales channels and promotion, right? So let's take students as a good example. So there's different stages of students. There are students that we haven't seen before. There are students that have registered for our class, and they like our class, they take another one of our class. And then there are students that have already taken our class they can't take any more classes. So we got 3 groups. Haven't seen us before, currently seeing us, and they're alumni. We communicate with all 3 of them on a regular basis, right? Because how else are they going to know what the value is, the utility of our course, if we don't tell them? Now, if you've taken the course and you like it, you know what it is. But if you haven't taken it, how are they going to know? And so how do we communicate with them? And that's what that chart deals with, all these different sales channels. So one sales channel would be, we send out emails. Another sales channel could be, I go to the business club meetings. Another sales channel could be, I go sit in somebody else's class, or I fill in for them. I had that happen last semester. I filled in for one class. The guy said, hey, this guy's a fun guy. I think I'll take his class, right? Or I go give speeches to groups of students, right? We have videos that we put out, right? Something to try to get people to take a look at and say, this looks like it's fun, okay? Are we done? Hey, look at that. That's the last one in week 4. What's week 5? I got part of way through week 5. Okay, we'll see you next time.